Okay, before we continue on in our Father's Word today, I want to do a Father's Day special. Today's Father's Day here in America, and I want to talk about what I did on a Father's Day back years and years ago. Now, in 1991, my son was 5 years old, and my daughter was 9 years old. And we had a timeshare down in Daytona Beach. But we got tired of going to that timeshare, so we started trading it. So we'd go to a different place every year. We went up in the mountains of Georgia. We went to Kill Devil Hill, the Wright brothers. We went out in the Panama City, Fort Walton, the Panhandle beaches, Destin. And then we went down into South Florida. We went to Deerfield Beach one year. Then we decided to go to Miami Beach and see the Coral Castle. And a lot of people wondered about that Coral Castle, how it was built. Now, if you look at a picture of the map of the Bermuda Triangle, one of the corners of that Bermuda Triangle is right there south of Miami. And the Coral Castle is right there in Homestead, Florida, about 5 miles south of the University of Miami there at Coral Gables. Right on US 1, you just keep driving past the University of Miami going south towards Key West, and you find the Coral Castle. It's right on the side of the road there. And we decided to trade our timeshare from Miami Beach. And so we went to beautiful Miami Beach for a week. And we went to some water parks. The kids love the water parks down there right off of 95 there in Miami. And so we went to the water parks a couple of days. We went to Miami Beach a couple of days, went to the movies, went to Penny Camp. There's a national park down there at Key Largo where they got a Jesus statue out under the water about 15 feet, and they've got some statues. It's a national park, John Pennycamp. We went to it, and then we went to the Coral Castle. And the Coral Castle, I've always wanted to go to it, and I wanted to see if I could figure out how the guy did what he did. And then the first thing you want to do is to look at that map of the Bermuda Triangle, and you see where it's located at, that corner. That triangle, Bermuda Triangle, the corner there is a strong, strong magnetic spot. Now, I was looking at brochures, and I was in one of those U-shaped chairs that the guy had carved out. He was a master carver, and he had all kinds of different structures and stuff that he built, just carved it out of coral rock. But he moved some big stones around, all by his lonesome. So what happened, according to the brochures that I was reading, I was just looking at the brochures in one of those U-shaped chairs, and it said the guy was 26 years old, and he fell in love with this 18-year-old gal. Well, the parents said he was too old for their daughter, and they wouldn't let them get together. So this guy pined after this 18-year-old gal his whole life. They never did get together. And so that's the reason why he built the Coral Castle. He was pining after this woman that he never could get together with. And he went to the library a lot. We didn't have the internet back then. This is back in the 1920s and 30s. And he did all of his work at night so no one could see what he was doing. But then I look over, and my kids are over there playing on this great big 4 foot wide triangular shaped magnetic rock. Yeah, a great big magnetic rock on a pedestal. And you could point that triangle shaped rock, and it was 4 foot tall and about 4 foot wide, and it was a triangular shape. Triangle means Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And you could take that magnetic rock and you could twirl it around. We tried this. You could twirl it around and point it at this great big rock gate. And you could take your little finger and you could open and close that gate just as easy as pie. But if you pointed that magnetic rock in another direction, you had to shove on that gate. Made a big difference. And if you look on that map, like I was saying, the corner, this guy, listen to this. The guy started building the Coral Castle. And he tore it all down. He had it a quarter to a third finished. And he tore the whole thing down and moved it down to the street to where that spot was that he found. I don't know what kind of device he used to find the corner of the Bermuda Triangle, but he found it. And that's where he put that triangular shaped rock to point at anything in. It was on a pedestal. You could twirl that rock around. My kids were there. That's how I found it. My kids were over there playing on top of it, twirling the thing around, just having a big time. You know how kids are. My son was 5 years old, and my daughter was 9, and they both had their friends with them, because when we went on vacation, they had to have one of their friends to come along with them. And so we would go on vacation with a carload of kids. But these kids found this thing. And I was just sitting over reading the brochures, trying to figure out what and how this guy did all this stuff by himself. And he didn't weigh but 130 pounds. A skinny guy. I mean, but that's how he did it. And he said that he figured out how the Egyptians built the pyramids. Well, the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids. Those pyramids are way a lot older. You can't put a dollar bill between those great big stones. Spiritual creatures built those pyramids, and spiritual creatures built the Sphinx. 14,000 years ago, God was coming back to earth, and he found a third of his children following Satan. The Catapult, Satan's overthrow. See, we were spiritual beings in the first earth age. We were in the eternity. We were all the same. Perfect eyesight, perfect hearing, perfect teeth. Everybody had the same knowledge, the same mental capabilities. We were all the same, and we're all the same under God's eyes. We're all the same to God. We're God's children. And in the first earth age, we were spiritual beings. Then in the second earth age, on the 6th day after the Catapult, God created flesh man. And he took the clay from the earth. He's called our potter. And what's in the clay? The DNA from all those animals. All that 5 billion years of evolution. And he took that clay from the earth and he made flesh man. That's why you find Neanderthal man, Duodenum man. You find all those different DNAs in our DNA. That's why you find it that way. It's real simple. If you look and you know what happened 14,000 years ago, that's the key to being able to understand all these ancient sites. All of them. Stonehenge, where my family comes from. Glastonbury, England. The Parnells have the AB negative blood type. Real rare blood type. And we come from Glastonbury, England. Stonehenge. Now let me ask you ancient alien believers something. What'd that crop circle say? The real crop circle there at Stonehenge. The message from God. It said, watch out, ancient aliens. The evil ones are coming first. 666 comes before 777.